Yeah.
Well, good morning.
Morning.
Today is the 20th day of August. Time is 9 o'clock. The board is in session to conduct this weekly open business meeting. Commissioner Daly and Commissioner, we're all three commissioners are present. Could we get a roll call down here? Tell us who you are.
Jennifer Pike, HR and Benefits.
Andrea Byrne, Human Resources. Dawn Bridge, Clerk's Office. Kathy Corliss, Procurement.
Tim Klein, Treasurer's Office.
Katie Wiley, Treasurer's Office. Rachel Gnu, Assessor's Office.
Sarah Lund, Clerk's Office.
Bob Carney, Operations.
Sean Rain, Paramedics.
Toby Thurman, Clerk's Office.
Ed Namath, Procurement.
Tim Sturgis, Clerk's Office.
Josh Brown, Operations.
Elizabeth Duncan, Communications.
RIT guy.
Trent Triple, County Clerk.
Alyssa Ellington, Procurement.
Well, thank you. Madam Clerk, are there any changes to the agenda?
Yes, there are 2 changes.
Okay. We'll need a motion to change the agenda. I'll accept the motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move to change the agenda to add item Roman numeral 612, Expo Ida for ratification of commercial exhibitor agreements, and remove agenda item 610-4, parcel number R19550111053, because that was redeemed.
Okay. All right. Is there a second to the motion?
Second.
Okay, you've heard the motion. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. We've changed the agenda. First item up on our agenda is the appointment of Nate Murphy to the Planning and Zoning Commission, term to expire the 9th day of January 27. Any discussion or any, would you like to tell us a little bit about Nate, would you, Brian? Commissioner.
Nate applied for this position and I've talked to him about it and he's very excited to get involved with the P&Z board. So I'll go ahead and make a motion to appoint Nate Murphy to the Planning and Zoning Commission.
I second the motion, and with the comment that I agree, this is one of, I served on one of these boards for planning and zoning. This is one of those positions that requires a lot of expertise and dedication, but is thankless in a lot of ways, so I would second the motion.
Yeah, they get a little taste of what we have when we have public hearings. Okay, well, I'm glad, I'm happy to support Nate for this position. I think he'll do a great job. He's a fairly young fellow and he's pays attention to detail, and he has to because of his business. He's a lighting contractor. He does lighting for big concerts and stuff all over the nation. All right. Well, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We've appointed Nate Murphy to the Planning and Zoning Commission. All right, now there's some unfinished business. I'll accept the motion to remove some unfinished business from the table.
Mr. Chairman, I move to remove the unfinished business from the table for consideration.
Second.
Okay, any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, go ahead.
All right, so for RFP 24033, the Ada County Jail RFID inmate tracking system, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, the evaluation team for RFP 24033 has completed the initial evaluation of the proposals, but is still in the interview process. Therefore, we'd like to request to retable the final rankings and award recommendation to the August 27th, 2024 open business meeting for further consideration.
Okay, any questions or discussion? Not, I'll accept the motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move to table, as recommended by the Awards Committee, RFP 24033 to the August 27th meeting.
I'll second that.
Okay, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you. And then we have one more, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, RFP 24057, the reproposal for Expo Idaho venue management software. The evaluation team for RFP 24057 has completed the evaluation of the proposals submitted. We'd like to submit this letter with the evaluation team's recommendation for your consideration.
Did you read the letter?
Sure can. Dear members of the board, the evaluation team for RFP 24057 has completed the evaluation of the proposals submitted for this project. Unfortunately, the proposals came in over budget. Therefore, it's the recommendation of the evaluation group to reject the proposals submitted and to procure on the open market.
Okay, I'll accept a motion.
Sorry, what was the recommendation again?
To reject all the proposals and procure on the open market.
Okay. I move that we reject the proposals for RFP 24057, Expo Idaho venue management software, and look for bids on the open market.
I second the motion.
Okay, any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, moving into to new business, we have several resolutions to consider. I'll open the public hearing on resolution 3002. Resolution to adopt the Ada County budget for all county funds for fiscal year 2025. Any issues or discussion? Go ahead.
I have no issues or discussion. Seems like this has been a long time coming, and we're grateful for all the coordination and cooperation from all the county officials, especially the board of commissioners, to get to this point. And we're looking forward to adopting this and getting ready to set levies in September.
Yeah, this is the final budget. We've done a tentative and then a tentative, and now we're doing the final budget.
This is it.
And it's been a good process, and I think the citizens of Ada County are better off for it. And we appreciate the entire staff for helping out and getting this put together. Any other questions from the board?
No, I would just echo what's been said, with the increase in population in the county and the inflation that we're dealing with. This is a budget that we're very careful in doing and met the needs of the county, but only increased the budget based on what was required of us by the state of Idaho. So I think we did a good job, and with the help of all the people in this room and all the people in the employees in Ada County. So with that, I would move that we approve resolution 3002.
So before the motion, we need to close the public hearing.
Oh,
Yes.
that's true.
Yep, thank you. Thank you. We'll close public hearing on resolution number 3002. Hearing being closed, I'll accept a motion.
And I make my motion again to approve resolution 3002, adopt the Ada County budget for all county funds for 2025 as listed on the agenda.
Is there a second to the motion?
I'll second that.
Okay. You've heard the motion. Is there any further discussion from anyone?
Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair.
Yeah.
I think we need to include the dollar figures for this
Oh,
motion.
you do?
Yes.
Yeah.
There should be.
There should be in front of you. If not, here's a copy of them. On that top.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Let's see, okay, so I move to adopt the resolution 3002, which as provided in Idaho Code 31-1604 and 1605, set the budget for fiscal year 2024-2025, totaling $362 million, $262,020,011 in appropriations, to include $164,544,678 in property taxes and $201,475,333 in non-property tax revenues. And in the, by detail attached, reflects the amounts allotted to each department and fund of the county.
I'll second that.
All right. Any other discussion, now that we have the actual exact dollar amounts? Any other discussion or issues? Hearing none, all in favor of adopting the resolution, which is the county budget for all the county funds for fiscal year 2025, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. All right, I will open the public hearing on resolution 3003, a resolution to adopt the Ada County Pest Extermination District budget for fiscal year 2025. The public hearing being opened, any discussion? All right. No, having opened the public hearing and no discussion, I'll close the public hearing on resolution 3003 and call for a motion with the dollar amounts.
I move to adopt resolution 3003, which, as provided by Idaho Code 31, 1604, and 1605, sets the budget for fiscal year 2024, 2025, totaling $991,336 in appropriations, to include $812,927 $1,000 in property taxes, $178,402 in non-property tax revenues, and by the detailed attached reflect the amounts allotted to the Pest Extermination District.
Mr. Chairman, should be 409 or 402?
409.
409.
Thank you.
Did I say 402?
I thought I heard 402.
Okay, do we have the numbers correct?
Yes, you do now.
All right, we have the numbers correct. Is there a second to the motion?
Second.
Okay, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. I'll open the public hearing on resolution 3004, a resolution to adopt the Ada County Mosquito Abatement District budget for FY '25. Any discussion? Any issues? Hearing none, I'll close the public hearing on resolution 3004 and call for a motion, which includes the dollar amounts.
Dollar amount, proper dollar amount.
Yes.
I move to adopt resolution 3004, which, as provided by Idaho Code 31, 1604, and 1605, sets budgets for fiscal year 2024, 2025, totaling $1,825,000, $825,251 in appropriations, to include $1,544,569 in property taxes and $280,682 in non-property tax revenues, and by the detail attached reflects the amounts allotted to the Mosquito Abatement District.
Is there?
Second that.
Okay, you've heard the motion. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, next up we have resolution 3005, a resolution to reserve foregone taxes for fiscal year 2025. The foregone taxes are taxes that we are not assessing or collecting for this fiscal year, but it does reserve it in case we need it in the future with a limitation on how it can be used. Any discussion?
Did you open the public hearing? I'm sorry.
Well, if not, I will. I'll open the resolution open the public hearing on resolution 3005.
Mr. Chairman, as you already noted, this is obviously reserving the opportunity to go back and assess these if needed at some point in the future. That brings our total of foregone reserved over the last several years to $28.3-ish million, including this 1.89 that you're reserving from this year's budget.
And it should be said that there's a pretty extensive restriction on how that can be spent. You can't just go back and put it on a budget.
That is correct.
It's a limitation on how much and actually how it can be spent. So there is a strong limitation on that. Any further discussion on the foregone amount or foregone? Hearing none, I'll close the resolution, the public hearing on resolution 3005 and call for a motion.
Does this motion need to include the total amount?
That we're reserving, not the total amount, just the reserving from this year.
Just 1.89.
1.89. Do we have to put all those other things in there, or is it on this list? Do we have to put the code and all of that in there?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, I don't have that. And it's the same code numbers?
Should be.
It's probably better just to read the entire resolution, it's different code number.
I don't have this list there, so. So I move to adopt resolution 3005, which provided, let's see, where's the code number? Under Idaho Code 638021F, in the amount of foregone balance to $1.89, $1,892,316 of the current allowable increase to foregone amount is reserved and included in the county's total foregone balance for potential use in subsequent years.
Okay, is there a second to the motion?
Second.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay. Now we have resolution number 3007. I'll open a public hearing on resolution 3007 to hire outside counsel. Is there any question or discussion on that? Hire outside counsel. Hearing none, I'll close the public hearing on resolution 3007. Call for a motion.
I move to approve resolution number 3007, resolution for outside counsel, as listed on the agenda.
I second the motion.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, I'll open the public hearing on resolution number 3008, ARPA resolution number 41 for the use of allowable expenditures, photovoltaic system. Okay, resolution being open. Any discussion?
I can add a comment real quick, Mr. Chair.
Sure, go ahead.
Yes, this is an ARPA resolution to install, or design and install a photovoltaic system at the coroner's facility. It will be tiered, so depending on available funds and bids, it could start at 200 watt and go all the way up to 300 watt.
Yeah, it can go from a 100-watt system up to a 300-watt system, depending on funding availability, and if there's no funding availability after the Expo Park bids, then we won't do the project.
Okay. All right. Any questions, further questions? Hearing none, I'll close the public hearing on resolution 3008. Call for a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve resolution number 3008 for expenditures of photovoltaic system on the corner facility.
I'll second that.
Okay, you've heard the motion. Any further discussion?
I'll just say that we didn't design the coroner's facility, and we didn't even vote for it because it preceded us, but whoever did design it put a lot of windows in, and the reason we're doing this is because the energy costs are kind of going through the roof, especially with the heat this summer. So we're hopeful that paying for these solar panels, and of course, we're not anti-solar, as we've said before.
Oh, no, we're not anti-solar.
This will hopefully save the county money in the long run.
Okay, good. All right. Well, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Well, that's a lot of resolutions. We plowed through that. All right. Next, we'll go into procurement. The opening of a bid, number 24061.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, Ada County Procurement received 3 responses for bid 24061, Ada County Sheriff's Office Court Services Bureau Window Replacement 2024. We've got bonfire open here, and if you're ready for us to open the bids, Evan will go ahead and unseal those.
I think we're ready.
Okay. Would you like me to read it into the record?
Yes, please.
All right. So on this, there's going to be a total bid amount that includes a base bid amount plus a $20,000 owner's contingency allowance. The first one we have here is barrier building, and with a total bid amount of $276,487. The second one is EKC Inc. for a total of $284,170. And then the last one is Excelsior Construction in the total bid amount of $182,500. And Mr. Chairman, the evaluation team will need time to review these bids, and we request that this be tabled for award to the August 27th, 2024 open business meeting.
Okay. Thank you. I'll accept the motion.
I'll move to table the final rankings and award recommendations for RFP 24061, Ada County Sheriff Office Court Services Bureau window replacement, to August 27th, 2024.
I second the motion.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Go ahead.
All right. Next up, we've got bid 24062, Ada County Public Safety Building, Evidence Loading Dock and Steps Replacement 2024. Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, Ada County Procurement received 4 responses for bid 24062 and would like to submit this letter of the bids received and a recommendation for award for your consideration.
Could you read the letter?
Sure can. So, dear members of the board, Ada County Procurement received 4 responses for bid 24062. The following are the names of the bidders and the bid amount submitted. Number 1, Barrier Building in the amount of $191,345. Number 2, EKC Inc. in the amount of $123,295. Number 3 is Excelsior Construction Company in the amount of $137,350. And then lastly, TK Construction and Contracting, and they were found unresponsive. After reviewing the bid submitted, it's the recommendation of the evaluation group to award the contract for bid 24062 to EKC Inc. as the lowest responsive bidder in the amount of $123,295.
Thank you. All right, is there any questions about the bid? Hearing none, I'll accept a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move to accept the recommendation of the evaluation committee and award bid 24062 to EKC Inc. for $123,295.
Second.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All right.
Motion carries. Thank you. Next up, we have the review of bids received and award recommendation for goods and services, $50,000 to $100,000. Bid number 24073, Ada County Landfill Tractor Scraper Tire Replacement.
All right, yes, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, the evaluation team for bid 24073 has reviewed the bid submitted. We would like to submit this letter with the evaluation team's recommendation for your consideration.
If you could read the letter.
Yes, so dear members of the board, after reviewing the 3 bids submitted, it was brought to our attention that we made an error in our specifications. Therefore, it's the recommendation of the evaluation group to reject all bids submitted for bid 24073 and rebid the project.
Okay, thank you. I'll accept the motion.
I'll move to reject the recommendations of the evaluation committee or accept the recommendations of the evaluation committee and reject all bids for RFP 24073 Ada County landfill tractor scraper tire replacement. And direct the staff to rebid.
I second the motion.
Thank you. You've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Thank you. Moving on, we have a couple of change orders. Change order number 2, the Juvenile Services Kitchen Drain Replacement, Wing 2 Sewer Line Replacement Agreement, decrease of $3,800. I'm sure that's because the project's done and we have that much left over in the owner's contingency, correct?
Mr. Chairman.
All right, I'll accept a motion.
I move to accept change order number 2 to agreement number 30036. Juvenile Services Kitchen Drain Replacement.
Second.
Okay. You've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. All right, now change order number 1, purchase and installation of information technology, audio, visual, and security systems at the new Ada County Coroner's Facility. Agreement number 14730, decrease of $31,092.15. Same thing, right?
Yes, Mr.
Project
Chairman.
completed, this much left over. All right. I'll accept a motion.
I'll move to accept and approve change order number 1, purchase and installation of information technology, audio, visual, and security systems at the Ada County Coroner Facility. Agreement number 14730, as listed on the agenda.
I second the motion.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. We now have change order number 1, Ada County Public Safety Building Programs Office Remodel, 2024, agreement number 30059, a decrease of $7,959. Same thing, owner's contingency left over.
Yes, sir.
Project completed.
Yes, sir.
You've done a lot of completed projects.
Josh and his team have done.
Way to go, Josh. All right, I'll accept the motion.
And good with the money on the same side. I move to accept change order number 1 to agreement number 30059, Public Safety Building Remodel, as listed on the agenda.
I'll second that.
Okay. You've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. All right, moving on. We have alcohol licenses. We have some catering permits and new licenses. Any question or discussion? Hearing none, I'll accept the motion.
I'll move to approve the catering permits and the licenses as listed on the agenda, and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
I second the motion.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We're honored today to have our distinguished clerk, Mr. Trent Triple.
Yes, sir. Two things of note on the agenda under the clerk's offices. We have one more request from Eagle Sewer District to include their delinquent assessments on there. This is similar to what happened last week with some others, as well as what we anticipate the last request for an extension from the Boise School District for their certification of their L2 budget in order for them to get a better grasp on their enrollment of students. Those are the two things that we have on there. We also have this, I think there's an election coming up in November that we're gearing up for. So we're full speed ahead with that one.
Well, good. Yeah, we do have an election coming up, don't we? It's gonna be a big one too.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Well, so we'll need a couple of motions, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'll accept a motion on the 2024 Statement of Authority and application for delinquent assessment and fees pursuant to Idaho Code 63-902 sub 11.
Mr. Chairman, I move to accept the pursuant to Idaho Code 63-902-11, the Eagle Sewer District 2024 Statement of Authority and application for delinquent assessments and fees, and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
I'll second that.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Okay, I'll accept a motion on a request for extension of budget certification of the Independent School District of the Boise City.
Mr. Chair, I'll move to accept the request for extension for budget certification pursuant to Idaho Code 63-8033, Independent School District of Boise City, and authorize the chair to sign on behalf of the board.
I second the motion.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
All right.
Motion carries. Do you have anything else for us?
Well, sir, other than an interesting pilot program that we just received information from from Berkeley, University of Berkeley, actually, testing our ballot verifier in a poll, a nationwide poll, and showing that it increased the trust of elections by 25% of those that were shown the capabilities of it. So we're super excited about that, especially with this election coming up, and we're excited to dig into more of that polls to see that we're putting the right resources where it matters most to be able to increase the trust in how we do the elections here locally at Ada County. So again, appreciate the support of the board in pulling that one off. That was a great boost to our local elections, but it's also being recognized nationwide as a best practice and something that should be done everywhere.
Well, great. Are there any other?
University California, Berkeley.
Are there any other counties in Idaho that's moving towards a ballot verifier?
I think they would love to move towards it. The question then becomes funding. They may or may not have as good as commissioners as we have here in Ada County to support.
Well, that's
those
hard to
efforts.
do.
That is hard to do. I will say that Tarrant County down in Texas just rolled out their ballot verifier as well, which is the same thing that we've done here. And they're receiving rave reviews on it as well in Texas. So it's starting to take hold of other places.
Well, that's great. Congratulations. That's good. We appreciate that. And I'm sure the citizens of Ada County appreciate that as
Yeah,
well.
appreciate the support of the board.
That's, we have to have trust in our elections to maintain our form of government. All right, well, thank you. Moving on, we have a claims journal. I'll accept the motion.
I move to authorize payment of claims on the claims journal dated August 16th, 2024, and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
Second.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next up, we have some personnel actions. I'll accept the motion on personnel actions.
I'll move to approve the personnel actions as listed on the agenda.
Okay,
I second the motion.
all right. You've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, we have, next up, the assessor's office. Do we have anybody here from the assessor's office? Go ahead.
Morning, nothing to report, just here to be present if there's any questions with tax cancellations.
Well, we got a number of those, don't we?
Pile them on, while we can.
Oh, yeah, okay, well, thank you.
We had a couple from City of Boise and Ada County Highway District. What happened there?
Exempt properties, they qualify exempt, however, sometimes they collect dollar amounts in closing, and we like to make sure those get applied correctly and then cancel off the remaining balance.
All right, Bill, I'll accept the motion.
I move to approve the tax cancellations as listed on the agenda. 2022, 1, 2022, 3 of 2023, and 88 in 2024. And authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
Second that.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. All right. Do we have anyone here from the treasurer's office? Yes, we've got a couple. Way to go. How are you?
Mr. Chairman,
Morning.
Commissioners. Yeah, today the Treasurer's Office has on the agenda 7 properties that we're hoping to set the minimum bid amounts. There were 8 of them. 1 of them was removed as stated at the beginning of today's meeting. And we're here to answer any questions. I have Katie Wiley here if you have any questions about these properties.
I don't have any questions.
Well, there's two with very small amounts, $392 and $900. Do you know what those parcels are? Are they just little slices, or were those homes? I can't remember.
Yes, those are little slices or odd lots, just bare land with a low value.
People just tend to kind of abandon those, it seems like.
Correct.
And the amounts listed are what's owed to the county, correct?
Correct. The
These are
minimum bid.
minimum bids.
Yep, the minimum bid contains the delinquent taxes, the cost of collection, and then the 2024 estimate. After the auction, if there are any excess proceeds, we notify prior owners of record and parties of interest of those to claim, and if there's no claims, we do send the funds on to the state as unclaimed funds.
Okay,
These ones that are, 2020, 3 years behind.
Correct.
They've been given years and a lot of opportunities, a lot of contact from your office to redeem the properties.
That's correct.
Are there any that you just absolutely couldn't make any contact with?
There were a few of those odd lots where we haven't made contact with anyone.
Residences, though, everybody is informed.
Absolutely, yes.
okay, I'll accept the motion. And the motion would be to authorize the treasurer to put these up for public auction and approve the minimum bid requirements, correct? All right, thank you. I'll accept the motion.
Mr. Chair, I'll move to authorize and direct the treasurer to offer properties at public auction and approve the minimum requirements. And that includes 7 properties as listed on the agenda.
With the one that we removed at the beginning.
The 8th one has been removed, which was number 4.
I second the motion.
Okay. Any further discussion or questions before we take a vote? Hearing none, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else from the treasurer's office?
No, that's it for this week.
You looking at interest rate go up or down?
Well, if I had to say now, I think in September we'll probably see 25 basis point cut, but they need to be careful.
All right, thank you, appreciate it, thank you. Okay, we have some minutes to approve. I'll accept the motion.
I move to approve the minutes as identified on the agenda and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
Second.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. All right, we have Expo Idaho. We have a couple of commercial exhibitor agreements that I signed on the 19th, which is yesterday, and they're out at the fair. But we need to authorize them from the board. I'll accept a motion.
I'll move to approve and ratify the agreements previously signed by Commissioner Beck as identified on the agenda for the Expo Idaho, Western Idaho Fair.
I second the motion.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, next up, we have Parks and Waterways. We have one event at Barber Park Education and Event Center.
Very unusual, only one.
Only one.
I move to approve the Barber Park Education Event Center agreement as listed on the agenda and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
Second.
You've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, now we're moving to agreements. We have a number of 24 agreements. Most of these are a reauthorization of new agreements. Any question or issue on any of the new agreements? Because as most people know, every agreement that Ada County has entered into is only for 1 year. And these are to renew most of these agreements. Any questions or issues on any of these agreements?
We've got one for a renewal for Ada County Sunny Slope Grazing Association for office and storage space. Which office is that? Bob, do you know?
I'm not aware of Mr. Fisher.
Okay, any other questions on any of these agreements?
I might point out, some of these agreements were just changes that the legislature required us
Yep.
to put in all of our agreements in certain language regarding boycotting and some other things.
That's right, we got
Some of these are amendments in that regard.
some language that, required by the legislature. Okay, I'll accept the motion.
I move to approve the agreements as identified on the agenda and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
Second.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Is there any other business need to be brought before the board?
I'll just put in a plug for the Western Idaho Fair and invite everybody down. You might have seen, we've sponsored a Ada County booth down there, and so we're looking for any volunteers. It's open to every department in the county, so if you wanna promote your department at the Western Idaho Fair, you can bring stuff down. And our Public Information Officer, Elizabeth Duncan, is in charge of that. She's looking for some extra help, mostly in the late evenings, because we gotta keep it open till 10, so if anybody wants to volunteer, just contact Elizabeth. And you get 2 free tickets, and you get paid if you're an employee too, so.
All right,
Good deal.
okay, we'll be adjourned. Thank you. Thank you.
You are off the record.
Luke was there.
Yes, he knows.
Today is Tuesday, the 20th of August. The Board of Commissioners, sitting as a board of Ada County Emergency Medical Services District, open for the open business meeting. All 3 commissioners are present. Tell us who you are for the record.
Commissioner Clerk's office.
Tim Sturgis, clerk's office.
Elizabeth Duncan, communications.
Regular IT guy.
Trent Triple, county clerk.
Sean Rain, paramedics.
Okay, good. Are there any changes to the agenda, Madam Clerk?
No, they're not.
Okay, we have new business, so I'll open the public hearing on Resolution 3006, a resolution to adopt the Ada County Emergency Medical Services District budget for fiscal year '25. Are there any issues or questions on this budget? Have any issues or questions?
No, I've appreciated working with Sean. He's done an outstanding job in providing outstanding service to the community at a fiscally conservative manner. He's looked at his billing services and has made some adjustments there, and as you can see, it's not a big budget, but it's a big impact to the community, so I appreciate him and all his work with it.
Well, and we do too, and we're fortunate in Ada County because we have the best EMS in the whole state.
Maybe the whole country.
And maybe even the whole country. That's right, because we all cooperate together, and it's a great system, and we appreciate all your efforts in keeping it that way. And it's not a huge budget, but it's a huge impact on the county.
Yes, it is.
All right.
You managed to save a lot of money by outsourcing the billing, and how's that going?
That, Mr. Chair, Commissioner Davidson, that's going extremely well. In fact, it looks like we're gonna come in ahead of our revenue projections this year. And I look forward to that continuing. A lot of that is because our call volume is up 7.3% from January through mid-July. So, increased call volume is gonna be increased revenue. They're doing really good.
Great. Any other questions?
No, just a reiteration of the good job that they're doing over there, and one of those things that the people don't focus on until they need it, and then they appreciate all the work that's been done to make it work the way that it does. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Commissioner Daly.
No, thank you. All right, I'll close the public hearing on Resolution 3006 and call for a motion.
I move to adopt Resolution 3006, which, as provided under Idaho Code 31, 1604, and 1605, sets the budget for fiscal year 2024-2025, totaling $43,647 in appropriations, to include $8,804,593 in property tax and $239,054 in non-property tax revenues, and by the detail attached reflects the amounts allotted to the Emergency Medical Services District.
That's a mouthful.
It's a lot of money.
Yes, okay. Is there a second to the motion?
Second.
Okay, you've heard the motion. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you. Appreciate that. We got your budget passed. And we did it plenty of time. Thanks, sir.
Thanks, Karen. Thanks.
Okay, moving on, we have a claims journal.
So I'll move to authorize payment of claims on the claims journal dated August 20th, 2024.
I second the motion.
Or sorry, August 16th, 2024.
You want to second the motion again? He changed it.
Second the motion
Yeah,
for the August
the change.
16th.
Yes, all right. Any further discussion? Hearing none, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion carries. All right, we have approval of the minutes. I'll accept a motion on the approval of the minutes.
I move to approve the minutes as listed on the agenda.
I'll second that.
I think you need to authorize me to sign the minutes.
You can sign the documents on behalf of the board.
Yeah. Okay, all right. You've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All right, that's complete. Now we get the favorite part of the meeting, the EMS update.
Yes,
Go ahead,
Mr. Chair,
Sean.
Commissioners, good morning. As I mentioned earlier, we're down at the fair, full swing down there. It's interesting just seeing my folks down there. Not only are they there, taking care of people if they get sick or injured or what have you at the fair, but they're also out throughout the day interacting with the public as they walk by the first aid building. Most of our folks will stay out under a shade structure. There's a really big pine tree out there that they kind of hang out and meet people and talk to the public as they walk by. And so that's always kind of a fun thing to see, and it gets us out in front of the public and helps people realize that, we're a county, a separate district, but, a government agency that's there taking care of their needs at the fair. So that's a good thing. The only other thing of note for this week is we recently concluded a hiring test. We initially had 19 paramedic applicants, 4 advanced EMT, and I want to say 48 EMT applicants. And pleased to report that we're going to be able to fill all of our vacancies. We had some really good paramedic applicants, and people from around the country this time too. We saw people that were coming from far away, Kentucky, East Coast, and that kind of thing. So we're drawing people here, much like we have been for the past 10 years in Ada County. But that'll be good to have them start, and they'll be starting their New Hire Academy first week of October.
Great, well, thank you. It's nice when we get more applicants than we
Yeah.
have positions for, because we didn't have that a couple of years ago.
No, we did not.
It was a
Challenge.
It was a challenge, but now we are getting good applicants, and that's sort of a sign of the economy, and it's a sign of the free money that the Fed passed out, dried up. All right, well, thank you. Any other questions? Oh, and I wanna buttress what you said, because I had occasion to spend a few minutes at the fair last night, and your people and the sheriff's deputies have a big presence.
Oh, yeah.
And I think people recognize that and appreciate it, because that's public safety. And that's the reason you're there.
Yeah.
and it's good, and I appreciate it. Tell your staff thanks.
Likewise, I was noticing as we were walking around on Friday night, everything from a stubbed toe to whatever was taken care of by the paramedics there. They were doing a very good job. Even this young girl who came up with a bloody toe, they took care of. So.
We see it all down at the fair.
Yeah. Well, great. Do we have anything else needs to be brought before the board?
Not for me, sir.
Well, then we'll be adjourned.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate it.